Hello, I'm Ashley Hefner, Advanced Planning Manager for the City of Culver City. Culver City is in the process of updating its general plan, which will help guide how our city government makes decisions and serves residents over the next 25 years. The general plan covers topics we all care deeply about, including housing, the economy, climate adaptation and resiliency, health and equity, transportation, arts and culture, parks and recreation, urban design, and so much more. I'm pleased to introduce a new video series where our team of expert consultants will share key findings from their research on existing conditions in Culver City. The city will use their insights and feedback from the community to shape policies in the updated general plan. A mini survey accompanies each video for you to share your thoughts on the content presented in the videos. We need to hear from you to create a general plan for Culver City that's driven by our community values. So please share the videos and surveys with others. This is a challenging time, and we thank you for your continued interest in the general plan update. Community engagement related to the general plan update will continue. For the time being, it will transition to an online format through methods such as these informational videos and surveys to gather input. Thank you, and please enjoy the video.
Today's presentation is an overview of the state of housing in Culver City. The current housing stock is estimated at 17,732 units, according to the State Department of Finance. The housing stock is comprised of almost an even split between single-family and multifamily units. Housing growth in Culver City has been limited, only about 3.5% in almost 20 years. However, the pace of housing production picked up slightly during the last 6 years, between 2013 and 2019. In the area of housing policy planning, the discussion is always linked to income and affordability. Specifically for housing policy and program purposes, the state has established 5 income groups that are based on area median income. Extremely low income, people who are making no more than 30% of the area median income or AMI, very low income up to 50% AMI, low income up to 80% AMI, moderate income up to 120% AMI, and above moderate income households. There is another group of concern, people who are making up to 150% of the AMI, people who are actively in the workforce but may still have affordability issues. This group is not legally defined, but is usually a housing group that is defined in a housing element for a high-cost area. In grouping households into various income levels, the household income is adjusted by household size and also adjusted annually. For example, a household of 4 persons making no more than $52,000 in 2019 is considered a very low income household in Los Angeles County. So how does the income distribution in Culver City look like? In general, the city of Culver City is a higher income community compared to the county. A much higher proportion of households in the city earn above moderate income households than in the county. There is also a very typical discrepancy in income distribution between homeowners and renters. Proportionally more low-income households are renters. 69% of the extremely low-income households in Culver City are renters. In contrast, 60% of the moderate and above moderate income households in Culver City are homeowners. When we talk about housing needs, renters are usually considered to be more vulnerable because they're more directly impacted by the market and the economy. As evidenced by the current COVID-19 crisis, when a loss of employment on income could easily render a renter households at risk of becoming homeless. Home prices in Culver City also continue to rise. Back in 2018, median home prices in Culver City were more comparable to LA County median. But by 2020, the median price of home in Culver City are more comparable to more costly communities such as Santa Monica and West Hollywood. Most available rentals in the city are multifamily housing, but rents are also very high in Culver City. To put the median price and rents in perspective, what this chart shows is that people who are making the median household income in the city, about $87,000 a year, cannot afford the median price housing in the community. You would need about $105,000 a year in order to rent a unit that is $2,200. Or you would need an income that is $207,000 a year in order to afford a $1 million home. Both state and federal housing programs have established a threshold for measuring housing affordability. If you've spent more than 30% of your household income on housing costs, you are considered cost burdened. Now, let's take a look at the extent of cost burden in Culver City. The proportion of cost burdened households among extremely low income households are about 3 times that amount above moderate income and moderate income households. Now, let's move on to talk a little bit about the city's housing element that is being updated as part of the city's comprehensive general plan update. So what are the requirements of the housing element? Through the housing element, the city is supposed to provide for a variety of housing types for all income groups, and these are the same income groups that we mentioned before. The city is also supposed to assist in the development of housing for low and moderate income households, to remove constraints to housing, particularly governmental constraints to the development or improvement of housing, to conserve and improve the existing housing stock, and lastly, to promote fair housing options. An important concept of the housing element requirement is the Regional Housing Needs Allocation, RHNA. The Regional Housing Needs Allocation is the amount of housing that the City of Culver City is responsible for providing over the next 8 years as being part of the region. The RHNA is developed by the state, allocated to the region, and then from the region down to the county and individual jurisdiction level. For the RHNA of the next 8 years, the City of Culver City is allocated about 3,332 units. The RHNA is divided into various income groups: very low income, which also includes the extremely low income, moderate income, and above moderate income. About half of the RHNA is supposed to be affordable to lower income households, and about half of the RHNA is supposed to be affordable to moderate and above moderate income. The RHNA is not an obligation to build. However, the city must have a land use policy that offers adequate capacity that can facilitate the construction of these units. State law requires that every jurisdiction plan for its regional housing needs allocation. Specifically, sites that are designated for at least 30 units to the acre are considered to be adequate to facilitate and encourage the development of lower income housing. For Culver City, about 51% of its RHNA is allocated as low income housing. The city must identify adequate vacant or underutilized sites with near-term potential that can accommodate its full RHNA. Looking at the city's existing general plan land use distribution, a majority of the city's land is currently designated for lower intensity residential uses. An objective of this general plan update is to look at a land use policy plan that can provide a variety of housing types and also allow the cities to accommodate its regional housing needs allocation. So what are the benefits of a diverse housing stock with a variety of housing types? It provides housing options for young professionals. It attracts young families with children with affordable housing options. It allows seniors to age in place. It provides housing for special needs population, such as those with disabilities. It also allows more residents to live and work in Culver City.
Thank you for watching the City of Culver City's General Plan Update video series. For more information about the General Plan Update and opportunities to get involved, visit pictureculvercity.com. Thank you, and stay safe.